31-19. Lions trailing. And a quarterback draw for Jennings. And Jennings taken down by Loeffler up at the 43. Let's check back in with Farhan.
Guys, Manny Arsenault will not be back in this game. They did diagnose him with a concussion, and he is still in the locker room. The man that hit him, Taylor Loeffler, a hard-nosed player who's been a big-time find for the Bombers. Going into the draft last year, he was ranked in the top 10, but he fell into the third round primarily because teams around the league were very concerned about his injury history. The Lions thought about taking him. They went with Anthony Thompson instead. That really motivated Loeffler. He went through a number of injuries throughout his collegiate career at Boise State. Knee, both hip labrums, his shoulder. And when he played at UBC last year, he basically had an arrangement with Blake Neal that he would rarely practice less than 10 times. But this year, he has been completely healthy. He thinks the pro football life where you're rarely in full pads has helped, and he believes he's got a lot of football left in him.
Last visit here, which was his first as a pro, he was our player of the game. Quick hitter at midfield. And Adekulu, well, has other kids.
Yeah, and let me be clear about one thing. That hit on Manny Arsenault by Taylor Loeffler, I mean, I liked it. I mean, that's old school football. That's the shoulder first. He did try to get the head out, but that type of play is called as unnecessary roughness in today's game on both sides of the border. So it's, you know, the old school way of thinking, and that just big physical hit over the middle on a receiver. I mean, I like the play, don't get me wrong. It's called a penalty now.
Here's Jeremiah Johnson with the burst. And back to the ground game for him. Still time to stay on the ground. And Johnson has gone for over 100.
Well, it's way too early to abandon it. It's way too early. You got to keep the balance in there. Keep those linebackers for Winnipeg doing what Solomon Elimimbi and Adam Bighill have been doing all game long, is to move up towards the line of scrimmage on Andrew Harris. Now they're trying to get Khalil Bassi and Wild to move up on Jeremiah Johnson.
Travis Lulay was talking about that yesterday as they attend to middle linebacker Khalil Bass, that the bind the Lions put you in is if you want to overplay the run, then you're man-to-man on some dangerous weapons, although that conversation was focused a lot about Manny Arsenault, who is no longer available.
And the score now changes it as well.
So with Bass down and getting attention, we'll step out. 9.5 to go here in Vancouver. MLS Cup playoffs continue. Tuesday, the 22nd of the month. First leg of the conference championships all begins when Montreal takes on Toronto FC. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on TSN 1 and 3. The other conference final, Seattle and Colorado later that night. Sam Hurl checks in, the University of Calgary product, in place of the injured Khalil Bass. Wide side of the field by Anuncia, catch, and down to the 30, another BC first down.
Brad wanted a penalty for that push from Sam Hurl. Not going to get it here. Move after the catch here, just that little curl pattern to the outside the numbers. And that little push, the crowd on that side of the stadium wanted a penalty. Good no call there.
Well, they got Rainey, Johnson, Burnham all in the backfield, and now Burnham sets up in the slot. And they hand it off Rainey inside. Got a little room, and then Loeffler brings him down around the 21 for 5.
Yeah, he almost hides behind that O-line, doesn't he? He gets in behind there. He makes himself small. And it must be difficult for the linebackers to find him. I mean, Taylor Loeffler often will come down and run support. He ends up making the tackle. I want to say that's getting close to double figures for tackles for Taylor Loeffler.
177 yards rushing for BC in the game. Second down, and the timing perfect to Sinfield in front of Bruce Johnson at the 10 for a Lion first down.
It really was, and it had to be. Bruce Johnson closed quickly. By the way, I talked to Michael O'Shea about Kevin Fogg, said he may be available if the Bombers move to Calgary and play next week. He may be available for that game. Right now, Bruce Johnson playing in that spot was right there, but the timing just couldn't cover it.
8th play of the drive, it's first and goal. BC needs a major. Jeremiah Johnson inside. Down around the 6. Ian Wild helping out on the stop along with Hurl. 2nd and goal from the 6.
And I think right now, Kahari Jones, Wally Wano likely talking about whether or not if they don't get it, they're playing 3-down football, down 31-19 at this point anyway.
And there is time for multiple possessions, but 3 still makes it a 2-score Winnipeg lead. Jennings ends up wide open, touchdown, Sickfield. We're going to go down to the wire.
Going to one, they're going to go for 1 here. Good protection. What a pickup. Just enough from Jeremiah Johnson on the blitz coming. But Jennings had the time to see his target, Sinkfield.
And they got 1 each time. It'd be 31-28 if Paul McCallum was good on all the attempts. Woulda, shoulda, coulda, and it's good. 5-point lead. Sinkfield with the touchdown grab that gets BC a little closer. Manny not available, so Sinkfield in the breach has stepped up. Going to be a terrific final 7 minutes, you would think, based on what we have seen here today. Quincy McDuffie gets slowed up and bounces away. Can't get outside. Big tackle. There's Anthony Thompson, who Farhan mentioned was drafted instead of Taylor Loeffler by the BC Lions. Making a play on the team.
Let's go back to the touchdown. I want to show you a nice block by Jeremiah Johnson. One that if he doesn't make, it probably doesn't work. Here comes Ian Wild, and here comes the block from Johnson. Just enough on the cut block on the blitz from the linebacker to give Jennings time to throw it to Terrell Sinkfield. Steps up, cuts him right here, makes that block, makes him stumble just enough, and you can see it was a matter of an extra second to get it to a wide open receiver.
Nichols throwing, and it got to McDuffie, and a catch at the 30, and that should be a first down. But here's the situation why the Bombers spent a lot of time this week practicing with noise, because it's going to get loud here.
Makes it tougher for Matt Nichols to make any changes or audibles on the line of scrimmage. Make sure that's a good catch, and it is from Quincy McDuffie. Hands underneath, keeps it off the turf, and they turn up the volume.
Take inside, now they shovel it there, and that's stopped by Elamimian.
Those tough on the field deserve a truck that's tough on the road. The 2016 GMC Sierra.
Both teams good in the 4th quarter. Bombers have outscored their opponents 168-95 in the 4th, and BC has 4-3 when trailing after 3 quarters. Crunch time, under 5 to go. 2nd and 10, 3-man rush. And here's Harris. Lacombo was spying Andrew Harris, who's going to come up a couple of yards short. Michael O'Shea surveying, but he has to get beyond the 40, and they mark it a yard short of that. Medlock's got to come on.
Boy, Matt Nichols, Chris, he held in there. Watch Alex Bazzi coming off the edge. He held in there just long enough to give Andrew Harris a chance to get out on that little swing. And he plants him, takes the hit to get it out there, give him a chance. They're still going to have to kick it away.
Rainey back at the BC 30. Medlock's kick is to the wide side of the field. Rainey tracks it down inside the 30, 44-yard punt. And they have contained Rainey with terrific coverage all day long.
Well, Justin Medlock, team's nominee for special teams player, has done a nice job with the punting, the directional punting in this game this afternoon. He's kept it away from Rainey in the first half, kicking it to Marco Iannuzzi, and that time kicked it way to the wide field, made him go run under it.
There's Derek Jones on the stop. I asked Wally Bono yesterday, more important to have a game breaker as a return man or a solid kicker, and he said, you can contain a return man, but you need good kicking.
Khalil Bass back in there. That's a good sign for the Bombers.
From the BC 28, quickly into the flat. Another catch for Atakulu. Had just 2 catches for 29 yards during the entire season. He has 5 catches today, replacing the injured Sean Gore.
Got to grow up in a hurry. Become a veteran in a hurry.
Big second down play. 2nd and 4. Dropping in quickly into the hands of Rainey. First down. TJ Heath to stop. But Rainey, the triple threat, rushing, receiving, returning, moves the chains.
Boy, it's an interesting dynamic going on. The Winnipeg Blue Bombers had the season series early on in the season when they beat them back-to-back. Lost it at the end of the season. Right now, Lions have the trump card.
3-minute warning given to the benches. Coaches who have had terrific seasons. Mike O'Shea from a 1-4 to this position. Wally Bono in his return, and a matchup of great Canadians in this CFL game, and the wheels turning with 3 minutes left. A couple of times this year, the Lions have taken the ball in the final 3 minutes, driven the field to win the game, and left no time on the clock. Iannuzzi steps out after a catch of about 7. They did it in the first game of the year against Calgary. They did it in Toronto. Can Jonathan Jennings orchestrate another game-winning drive here?
Both these quarterbacks here tonight have had 5 game-winning drives deep in the 4th quarter in the regular season. Can Jennings get this drive done with a major and take the 2:46 off the clock in the process? Don't give Matt Nichols any more time.
And with that said, we could have 3 different possessions in the final 3 minutes.
Absolutely. We go back and forth.
2nd and 4. And this play doesn't get off.
That's what's the dynamic I was trying to explain and didn't do a very good job of it.
Timeout, BC.
When these two teams played each other for the season series, Winnipeg wins it, takes the season series. That was a few weeks back, but then lost that edge when they lost to Ottawa. BC gets it by finishing the season with 2 wins against Saskatchewan. It's been Winnipeg with the lead the entire game here tonight, and yet right now BC has control. They have the ball, they have time, they need a major, but they need to take all the time off the clock.
Lions have used their final timeout, which might be costly in case they don't do what the suggested script would be to win this game, drive the field and leave nothing on the clock.
Now this is the defense that has intercepted the ball 13 more times than the next closest team in the league.
Our stats man Dave Moyer telling us they converted on the last 5 second downs, make it 6 in a row. Rainey with the catch. Dragged down by Ian Wild, but the Lions cross midfield.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's a good tackle by Ian Wild. That's a good tackle by Ian Wild, because this is Chris Rainey with some field in front of him. Catches that, turns the corner. He can make some people miss in smaller spaces than that. Wild catches him from behind.
To the Winnipeg 53. Swing pass Rainey, got a block. Trying to get the crease, but not this time. Ball down by Terrence Frederick. Bruce Johnson there. Contained for a couple. Call it 3, 2nd and 7.
Bono doesn't convert here. He still has the option to kick it away and think he may get the ball back if he can corner it.
Interesting decision upcoming. He'd prefer not to have to make it. See if they convert for the 7th consecutive time. Wide open. He's there. Iannuzzi trying to stay in bounds, and Frederick will stop the clock. But that's a big first down, and 21 for Marco Iannuzzi.
It's so big for a couple of reasons. Not only does it obviously keep the BC Lions from that difficult decision they would have had to have made if they didn't convert. It gets them another set of downs, but they can now kill this clock with the run game back involved. Go back to Jeremiah Johnson if that's what they want to do. Try and grind it down. And then get close.
Excuse me, Suits. Jonathan Jennings over 300 at 312 in the game. Both quarterbacks over that in the shootout. And that pass caught Burnham underneath. In front of TJ Heath at the 13.
Great double move by Brian Burnham. He's been quiet all afternoon. Little double move there, back into the middle. Out cut, and then back inside, and Loeffler just there, a split second late.
So efficient that there's still a lot of time on the clock here. Or Michael O'Shea, the Lions 3 for 4 in the red zone. Santorini back in as the tailback. He gets the carry and crashing down to the 9. So they're 9 yards away from a touchdown. They are going to need 6 yards for a first down. And at any point, does Mike O'Shea use his timeout?
Yeah, he's got to start thinking about that. And now Buono's got 2 downs to get a new set. Try and grind it down.
They can get a first down without scoring. They've really got the hammer. Second down, it's not there. In trouble, gets away. Trying to get outside Loeffler. He does. Touchdown. What a run by Jonathan Jennings.
Matt Nichols is loosening up. He's got time. Wally Buono's going to go for 2. But what a run by Jennings. I don't know how he escaped the pocket to begin with. It looked like he was caught and collapsed. That pocket had just disappeared. Bounces out of there. That little hesitation stutter move on Taylor Loeffler. And then he goes up over the top. Does he get there and cross the plane? Hands okay, elbow, that's touchdown. That's touchdown. Can put the hand down. That's not down by contact. Ball crosses there before the elbow.
Second touchdown run of the game for Jennings. The first lead of the game for the Lions. But there's still 1:06 on the clock.
Oh, immediately I saw down below our vantage point here and watched Matt Nichols just starting to keep loosening up. He looked up at the clock, saw over a minute, and thought we've still got time.
Sinkfield getting attention. You know, there was a story in the Vancouver paper today that suggested Jonathan Jennings is the #1 athlete right now in Vancouver. And I don't know if you can argue that.
No, you stay base. Who's my guy?
Just his second year, 24 years of age.
Let's go trips. What you want? No, let's go.
Rebounding from a sluggish start.
Yep.
And now looking for 2 to make it a 3-point lead and make the Bombers need 7 to win and only 3 to force extra time. So this is big.
Got Rolly Lumbala in there.
Handed off for 2. They're not going to get there. Bombers shut that down. And now they've got a chance to win it with a field goal.
Well, a great chance. And you just saw the confident nod from Matt Nichols. I mentioned Rolly Lumbala because he was either going to lead or he was going to be a decoy that opens up his receiver. Stop it there. I mean, Lumbala to the left is open, not used. They close in on Jeremiah Johnson.
Didn't like the call. That opens the door for the Bombers to win it.
What an effort by Jonathan Jennings. Boy, this game has just been sort of like a glimpse at his entire season. Some unbelievable plays, throws that you go, not many can make. But the odd mistake, too, all mixed in there. Now can the defense hold?
And I think we've run the gamut of this guy's season, too.
Absolutely.
And he has a chance to be the hero here.
Remember, both quarterbacks 5 times fourth quarter drives for wins. Now Matt Nichols has it in his hands.
Punched by Leone downfield is McDuffie trying to set it up for the Bombers field position wise. A hurdle and extra yards there before he's dropped at the 37. But that leap may have given the Bombers 10 extra yards. And remember, Justin Medlock's hit from 58. Wheels turning between Paul LaPolice and Mark Washington.
Does Paul LaPolice go back to Andrew Harris? When they have to start things out, it's pulled the linebackers up, given Matt Nichols some time in behind. He's got plenty of time here.
Fans on their feet. Here comes pressure. And over the middle, Ryan Smith, another clutch catch. And a big play up to the 51-yard line.
Adam Big Hill dropped out of there so early that Matt Nichols knew he had the middle of the field open.
They only need 10, 15 yards for Medlock range. Quick throw here. Ryan Smith's got it. And hauled down at the BC 53.
One play. One team goes home. One team goes on.
2nd and 4. Pass knocked down. Alex Bazzi with the rejection. And now it's going to have to be 3rd and 4 or 5 or a 60-yard field goal attempt.
I'm going to go for it on 3rd down would be my guess. There's plenty of time. The clock's not an issue here for Michael O'Shea. He knows he's got to get closer. Medlock's been money, but this is too far.
Even under perfect conditions, they won't try from 60. They need 4. Well, we're going to get a challenge here. He's looking for something. Did Elimimian impede Andrew Harris's progress?